Bananas, bananas. Bitter butter.
Betty Botta.
Betty bought bitter.
You don't even remember what you said.
I don't remember.
What's funny is like that's like ingrained in my skull. Betty Botta bought some butter.
Bought some butter.
But she said this butter is bitter.
This butter.
I used to do it all the time.
You ready?
Let's do it.
It's a new ritual I just started.
Doing it. High fives are good.
This. Yeah.
Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo. Welcome to Life's Greatest Hits. I'm Jason Earle.
And I am Jordan Foley.
And I forgot to turn off the air conditioning.
But it's so nice though.
I mean, it's just like
it's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's okay.
I mean, I can close the window.
No, do the. It's fine. We're good. I was like, in my head, I was like, I really hope he forgets, because like I would love to have this vent on me for the next hour and a half.
Well, when we listen to the record, we can have the AC.
Yeah.
I'll even turn it down
Dude,
like cold.
We need to leave this in because that's fucking cool.
Welcome to Life's Greatest Hits. I'm Jason Earle.
And I am Jordan Foley.
Here's how it goes. Each episode, one of us chooses a vinyl. The two of us get together and listen one time through. Then we discuss our takeaways. On this episode, we are excited to bring you Sunny Side Up by Paolo Nutini.
Yes, from 2009.
It's pretty wild that it's that long ago.
15-year-old album.
Yeah.
We haven't been talking about albums that like age a little over a few years lately. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
nice
true.
to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it,
Yeah.
buddy. Why'd you choose this one?
Well, let's talk about Paolo Nutini, and then let's listen to it, and then we'll talk. We can talk about it because I got a lot.
Okay.
I got a lot to talk about.
Gotcha,
On this,
okay.
on this bad boy. Paolo Nutini is a singer-songwriter from Paisley, Scotland, known for his soulful voice, eclectic musical style, infused rock, folk, and blues influences. Nutini gained recognition with his 2006 debut album, The Streets, which featured hits that you probably know, like Last Request and New Shoes. Hey, I got some new shoes on, and suddenly everything's right. It's a great tune.
It is a good one.
Since then, Paolo has released 3 more studio albums, including this album we're going to discuss, his sophomore work, Sunny Side Up, as well as Caustic Love, and more recently, with his return, I think it was in 2022, Last Night in the Bittersweet. His debut album, These Streets, achieved platinum status in the UK and spent a record-breaking 196 weeks on the album charts. Ooh. And then the follow-up, which we will discuss, Sunny Side Up, also topped the UK charts and produced hits like Candy and Pencil Full of Lead. So
Cool.
Just a little bit of background on Paolo Nutini. Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this album. It's got a lot of personal connections for me. It's more of a personal thing rather than the actual music. It's like music alone. So
Yeah.
it'll be a nice little chat that we're gonna have. But first, let's go ahead and dive in and give a listen. Sit down and chill. Hey guys, so over the last couple years, my hat collection has grown, but these wide brim hats I got from Two Roads Hat Company have become my absolute favorites. I am very excited to let you know that I now have a partnership going with Two Roads Hat Company. Head on over to tworoadshatco.com. Pick out your favorite hat. They have so many to choose from. They have felt, straw, wide brim, short brim. They have trucker hats. They have beanies, you name it. Be sure to use the discount code Foley15 and get yourself 15% off of your order. Again, that's tworoadshatco.com. Foley15 in all caps will get you 15% off your order at Two Roads Hat Company.
I hope everybody can read that my shirt says immigrants make America great. Right. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's clear about the message I'm sending.
Whilst wearing a Jason Isbell hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
While
and
I'm
then,
wearing a Jason Isbell.
And then on top of that, I'm wearing a Grizzly Bears tie-dye shirt.
The raddest
from
shirt I've
Canada,
seen in a long time.
While wearing a hat that says I'd rather be drinking at Margaritaville.
Fashion, everybody. You thought this was a
We're a
vinyl podcast?
Fashion forward.
No, this is just pure fashion.
That's right. Man, what a shabuddy.
Shabuddy. I give it 5 shoe buddies.
You give it 5
5
shoe
out of 5
buddies.
shoe buddies.
Yeah, it's a great one, man.
Shoe buddy.
Yeah, it was it takes you on a ride, huh?
I mean, I'm so glad you chose this record.
Thank you.
Me
too.
What I was telling you while we were listening that, like, you know, this is the kind of record that I very much dig, but would not normally dial up.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful you chose it because it kind of stretched me in ways, especially sonically. It stretched me in ways that I just don't normally, the muscles I don't normally flex.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you chose it. So let's talk about it, man.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad that you're glad that I chose it.
Yeah.
Last night you came to my gig, and I had to ask you what you thought of it because
Mm-hmm.
I chose this album for a handful of reasons, but one of the big reasons was I'm learning your like music taste as I'm tasting music, as I'm sure you're learning mine.
Mm-hmm.
The more we do this, and I listened to this album months prior to us starting Life's Greatest Hits. But when we first started, it was the first record I bought with the intent of, hey, we're going to want to talk about this album because I was learning like what you like, and also knowing that like we want to shoot for a variety of sounds. And I don't think you can pinpoint exactly one thematic tone element of this record. I think it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's so encompassing. I mean, even in conversation, I was just watching an interview that Paolo had in Brussels in 2024 last year. He said, yeah, that second album of mine was a bit all over the place. And he started laughing, and then he was like, but hey, why not? He was like, why not make a record of the music that I want to, rather than have it be cohesive, repetitive almost, or redundant, like making my point through 10 songs. Like I admire that greatly. But the main reason why I chose this album is all because of one song. And it's a story. So if you don't mind indulging.
Hell yeah, go for it.
So my fiance Mariah and I first started dating in 2023, early 2023. And a couple months in, she was like, what's something that you would love to do? And I just like kind of went on this rant about how I would really like to get away and get out of Dodge and go somewhere that, I've never been, and then just like fucking chill. I just needed a breath. Like I felt like I was going a mile a minute. And Mariah was like, well, let's go somewhere. I was like, man, we've only been dating 3 months, and like already Mariah wants to go on a trip with me. Like that's awesome. But I also knew that it was like a bit of a test to see like, hey, where is this going to go?
Yeah.
So already like diving into that, we were like, yeah, like we're starting to get more serious. We haven't said I love you yet officially. And like, but we were starting to get on the verge of like, hey, I think this might be the long haul, the real deal. Like we might be it. So let's take that next step and see what it looks like. So we talked it out and we made a plan. We took a long weekend trip up to North Carolina. We got a treehouse cabin Airbnb, and it was just a studio treehouse on the ground, on the bottom floor, if you will. It was outside. Was a hot tub. I told her, I was like, I would love to be in the woods and I would love to have a hot tub. She's like, I can make that happen. So she found it, and Mariah was like, let's go. And then we spent a whole day in Asheville while we were up there, because I'd never been to Asheville. So it was like a win-win, like just this all around, like the plan was set. We were very excited about it. And this is where it gets pretty interesting, is because I've never indulged, I'm just going to be flat out honest, I've never indulged in any type of psychedelic before this trip. And Mariah and I talked about it, and we were like, well, let's bring some fungus with us and see how it goes. And so so while we're in this treehouse cabin, it's just raining the whole time. The whole time we were there, it just stormed. So we couldn't go hiking into the mountains like we wanted to. We were basically just stuck in the treehouse cabin for 2 whole days. And so we were like, well, screw it. Let's just take the shrooms and just have a night. And it was fucking beautiful, dude. Like it was like such an amazing experience. Like I'll admit, I haven't always had the best of trip experiences. Like I've only done it twice. The second time I did it, it was a bad trip, I'll admit.
Bummer.
So I'm not one to like partake a whole lot.
Yeah.
But this time when we did it for the first time, because we couldn't go anywhere, it ultimately felt like we were just in this treehouse cabin, and it was like its own little like island on Bespin in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. You know, like in the movie, I don't know, you've seen Empire.
Yeah.
So you know how it looks like they're all up in the clouds. This treehouse cabin felt like I was just up in the clouds because it got dark out and you couldn't see anything around you. So like when you go out onto the balcony, literally just felt like it was just this whole pod and it was just us. It was just us in this treehouse cabin. And I just felt very like comfortable in that. And I really enjoyed the feeling of it. So we go to just like lay down and we're just like, we're both just having, with the experience is getting more and more interesting. I mean, like we both found out like we're Iron and Wine fans. So every time Mariah put on this playlist and every time Iron and Wine would come on, I made this joke about how it always felt like Sam Beam was just showing up. Like, he's just like, hey guys, if you don't mind, while you're talking, I'd just like to go ahead and play a song for you. It's just me. I'm Sam Beam. Like, don't mind. I'm just here just to like play guitar. And I just kept making the joke. So every time an Iron and Wine song would come on, we'd be like, hey Sam. So it was like, because we weren't moving. So we were starting to trip. Like there was a loft in the cabin, in the treehouse. And we go up to the treehouse and it was like, we go up into it and it was so small. Like there's not a lot of room. And it was in case anybody, you had extra people coming, sleep on an air mattress, whatever. And we were having a blast. So like, just keep in mind that we're having a ball.
Yeah.
And Mariah starts to doze off and I'm just like feeling all the things. I'm like learning more about myself. I feel like my hands are no longer on the wheel. I'm being kind of told things and like my mind's going in directions it never did.
Yeah.
And man, this playlist put on this song, Tricks of the Trade by Paolo Nutini. And the first listen, I just felt so enlightened and I felt like I was just talked to directly about like who I am, what I've been through, where I've gone, who I've been with, and how it's all led me to like here, but also here's where you're headed. And it wasn't even just the lyrics or just the music. It was just all encompassed. The whole song from start to finish was talking to me about me. And that doesn't always happen. Like we have a sense of like, oh, sure, we relate or connect with songs because of ourselves in certain ways. This song literally felt like Paolo was just singing to me, like, this is your life. And I was just like, I got so lost in the moment. And I remember being like, who is this? Because I didn't recognize the song. Now I'll admit, I knew Last Request and I knew New Shoes.
Sure.
Because they're both great songs. And when I was just going into college when those songs came out and they were catchy. And we listened to them.
They were everywhere too. Yeah.
So to listen to this song, I was like, man, it sounds like familiar, but I can't figure out who it is. And I couldn't make out him saying tricks of the trade. I couldn't make it out. Or I forgot what it was. So I spent so much time trying to find this song. When I get fixated on a song, I just want to go and find it. And I had to dive into the playlist that Mariah had been playing and ended up coming across it and was like, oh my God, it's Paolo Nutini. I was like, this song's amazing. And I just dove into this whole like emotional realm of like, man, your previous relationships, when you look at this, the lyrics of this song, was it love or recognition that has healed this man's condition? Oh, I'm hoping and I'm wishing that this bird won't fly away. How does that not, it connected with me in the moment that I was having. I've searched far and wide to find like a partner, somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Since I was a kid, I've been in love with love. I mean, I've been a hopeless romantic. I've always wanted to like find that person so I just don't feel so alone, So to hear somebody say it while I'm in the middle of experiencing it and saying I love you and like accepting that this is it, like that's a wild thought. So, that's really ultimately why I came across this album, because after hearing it and falling in love with that song alone, I listened to the rest of the album and was just so blown away by everything else that's on it.
Yeah.
From the jump with 1010, I was like, man, like what? This dude didn't miss, I didn't expect it because I never took a full dive into Paolo's catalog. but I knew he had some hits because I've heard him. You know, I've heard some of his songs that are really, really good. But when I heard that Tricks of the Trade, man, I mean, it's still just like, we were just listening to it now, and I was like tearing up because it just takes me to that moment of like realizing everything as it's happening. And just such a psychedelic tear into my brain of like not just emotionally, but logically, and like seeing things open up the way that it should in my life. And like, this is where you're headed. This is where you're in the right place. This is finally like, of everything you've been through, you're meant to be right here. And like, that's a very beautiful thing, you know? And, it's a personal thing. I haven't told too many people about that. So now everybody knows if you listen to it, you know that about me. So I'm being vulnerable. So yeah, that was ultimately when it came across this album, that was the first thing, was that song. And then the rest of the album just like blew me away. And I knew that it was going to be a feel good album that we were going to be able to sit down and actually just take in.
Yeah.
And as we were listening to it, all I could think about is like, man, like this is one of those albums where you just want to put on while people are over. Or like while like somebody's gonna hear some of these songs and be like, man, I like this. I like the horns. This guy's good. He's got a great voice. Like the attitude of it, the tone. Yeah, it really is special. So yeah, and like I said, it was the first record I bought with the intent of having us play it here on Life's Greatest Hits. So I thought that was pretty cool. I've been holding on to it for a bit. And I'm just glad we're able to take a moment to listen to it. You know, our past albums that we've discussed have been some heavy duty records. You know, they have a lot of heavy topics, or they're gritty or dark or mysterious or confusing or overwhelming to a sense. Like I can't stop thinking about Shooter Jennings still. You know? And
I was talking about that record the other day.
And just how much it took. It took something from me. That album stole something from me.
Sorry.
Sorry,
not sorry.
Not in a bad way. But it's still like, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah. So, and then Molina
Molina was heavy, man. Especially when it was like, oh, let me just hit you with Glenn Hansard's like renditions of his best friend's songs. I mean, like, let's just go even deeper. So I knew that this was coming up soon. And I was just so excited to kind of just flip. I mean, we don't know what albums are going to come our way. I'm thinking about albums to talk about in the future, and I know you are too. And I think our direction is just getting so interesting. We're starting to talk about new albums. We're getting offers to listen to new records before they come out, so that
pretty excited about that
talk about them. Yeah, man, like that's starting to happen. So we have a really cool episode coming up here at the end of the month, which we'll talk about at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying all of that because when I looked at this album, I was like, this is going to be a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And I really think it was.
I agree. I
hit the nail then. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You knocked it out of the park, man.
Thanks, man.
And I love that story about I remember you've talked about that trip quite. I mean, hell, you wrote your song, on that trip, right?
I wrote, before the psychedelic trip.
But you were while you were on that. Yeah, before that trip.
Before the trip.
During the vacation.
Before the trip, on the trip.
Before you tripped on the trip.
I wrote during the trip.
Which is one
that
of
day. That same day.
Yeah, which is one of my favorites of yours.
Thanks,
and I know that was like a very impactful trip for you. So it's really cool to hear that this album came into your life as a result. And again, like I echo everything you said.
Yeah.
Because I think when I listen to this record, I mentioned at the outset how it kind of like is very squarely in my wheelhouse, but outside of. Hey, we got to get there.
Sorry.
Listen, free pub as much as we can from my boy here.
Anytime somebody says wheelhouse, I'm like, you're damn right.
We got to get some.
You're damn right.
Anytime I can sneak in some free pub for you on your own show,
thanks, man.
I'm going to do that,
Hell
okay?
Yeah. It should be in our top 5
Listen to
vocabulary
Jordan Foley,
words.
everybody. And the wheelhouse.
I just got to not react to it. That's what I got to work on.
Yeah. But it is very squarely in my wheelhouse, but at the same time, it's not something that I would necessarily dial up,
right,
if not for this moment.
You had to be introduced to it.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of elements, especially when we think about the beginning of the record. I like the whole thing. And really we were talking about how like from about chamber music, which is a little it's not halfway through. It's what, like the last 5 songs or so. There's a shift in mood that we can talk about.
Yes.
But the first part of it, especially that first handful of songs, feels like something that was recorded at Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals. It feels like a Wilson Pickett record, and I don't say this lightly, folks listening. Like, I would never compare someone to Percy Sledge or Wilson Pickett or any of these greats without like really meaning it, and I mean it because I think there's a couple of things that stood out to me about his music on this record, but also diving into the rest of his catalog, is that the way that he sings, like he has a beautiful voice, of course, but like the way that he sings, I believe him.
Oh yeah,
right. Like
100%.
I 100% believe him.
Believe him.
And it's interesting because I think
it's authentic.
Yeah,
There's an authenticity to it.
It's the real deal. It's sincere,
Very
as Tyler
sincere.
Mahan Co would say. You know, it's the way that he sings, and then the fact that he chose at the beginning of the record to really throw a bunch of horns on there and give us that kind of 70s soul kind of feel to it, and then to make the shift later and to more singer-songwriter kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it fits. It flows.
It
even
has
though
such
it's
a good
really
flow.
all over the place,
Yeah.
the record somehow feels cohesive. And I wonder if you have thoughts on that, is like how he pulled that off.
I do think he pulled it off just by, in all honesty, and I'm not trying to simplify my answer. He has some really, really good songs on here.
Yeah.
You can't deny that the songs carry their own weight.
Yeah.
Per track on this album in so many ways. Like we already talked about 1010. It's feel good. It's sexy. It's like a second line at French Quarter. At the French Quarter, which was like honestly one of the coolest places that I ever visited. I think Mariah and I are planning on going there for our honeymoon. Like we're just we love the French Quarter. So there's this sense of like we're gonna have a party, and I just want to be in love. I just want to have love. It goes into these different elements. Coming Up Easy has such a great horn section in both those songs. But Coming Up Easy, I think it just has this like drive to it that it to answer your question, the way it flows into what you're talking about down to chamber music, it is just this like feel good move, positive attitude. Even when you're talking about heavy shit or you're trying to talk to somebody that you're in love with, but they might not be in love with you back, or, talking about yourself, being self-indulgent and just identifying who you are. I mean, and then going into the storytelling element. I mean, those last songs that you're talking about, that they're all story-based. They become the narrative no longer is about me. It's about him. He's saying, oh, he told this story, or he sang the songs, or his words or this or that. There was what was it? In the song Worried Man, he said, he repeats it. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. He's worried now, but he won't be worried long. Like he is not, it might or might not be him. He's creating this like change of perspective.
Yeah.
Going from introspective, self-indulging, like maybe in his mind he's living this like high life, like dance the night away, like great time feeling, but the truth is he's dealing with some shit. So the only way that he's able to deal with whatever it is by removing him, stop talking about him personally, and then shifting the narrative to another character. So I think that's how it flows so well. I think it does go into this change. But I go back to what he said about like, that this album is a bit all over the place. And the way he said it was almost like Paolo's proud of it. And it's okay if nobody else is.
As you should be, Paolo.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Like the interview, he was like, it was fun. He's like, it's a bit all over the place. He's like, but why not? Like, this is my, I think artists have a habit, just by watching behind the music and also just seeing historically, the sophomore album is always the hardest to make. because you have to do it with some sort of intent, or do you want to sound like the last album, or do you want to sound completely new, or do you want to like, it happens to so many artists where they don't know the direction that they're going in.
Yeah.
I think Paolo was like, well, fuck it. Let's just go in all the directions and see what sticks.
Yeah.
So he was able to do that. Like, hey, I'm still a solo artist. I can still like rein it in, just play an acoustic guitar, just tell you some stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do think there's that simplistic feel of it. But what's also cool, and I said this while we were listening to it, is that the middle or the turn of this album doesn't happen in the middle of it. Like
yeah, it's
side
not
A,
side B.
B.
Yeah.
It happens in side B.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just by hearing him say what he said in that interview that I keep referring back to, I don't know if it was intentional.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder if how intentional the sequencing was.
If he was just like, this is what I had for my sophomore album. I had this concept, and then I had these other songs, and I was like, fuck it, let's just put it all together.
Yeah.
That could be it.
Because, I mean, you could. There's what, like 14 songs on the record? How many we got? And you could have. I mean, it's a full album if you just cut it off before chamber music, is my point. And then, like, you didn't have to do those other 5 songs. I'm glad he did, but that would have been, what, a 9-song record?
Yeah.
That's
Solid.
That's a long play record.
I think in the 2000s in particularly, I connect Paolo Nutini, and he probably wouldn't like this, or I don't know. Some people are going to argue this, but I did put him in that pool of John Mayer. John Mayer had range.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not you like him or you think he's too poppy or too cynical or whatever, sarcastic, whatever, he's a damn good guitar player and he's a damn good songwriter.
Undeniably.
John Mayer is the man. He's a good artist. He's a good songwriter. He knows his shit. He's very intelligent. I connect Paolo to that style. Gavin DeGraw, a little bit of the
interesting
David Gray. It was the time frame. It's that time frame of this feel for an artist to have range.
Yeah.
You know, like in the 90s, there was a lot of like, this is what I got. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we love Bush, but that doesn't mean that Bush took a risk.
Right.
I'm not ripping Bush. I'm not ripping anybody. Look at Pearl Jam. Everybody loves Pearl Jam because their formula was Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
They didn't change. Eddie Vedder didn't do a ukulele album until he went solo years later.
Yeah.
You know, so there's this level of comfort.
Yeah.
And I think Paolo was like, all right, if I were in his shoes, I'd be like, this is what I got, and I got range.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think range was getting measured at that time, especially when it was songs were being purchased individually on iTunes.
Well, that's a good point. The context is important. It's pre-Spotify proliferation.
Yeah.
You know, we had Pandora and we had some other streaming services, but it wasn't the world that we live in today. People were still buying CDs to some extent, but for the most part, they were buying
Apple.
They were on Apple iTunes.
I gave myself like a $30 budget every year in college and out of college until I was introduced to Spotify. $30 a month. And that meant that if I liked an album, I really liked it to the point where I would buy the whole thing. But I had to really like limit myself of my intake. So you're going from like the Napster era of like free downloading everything to then isolating to be like, do you want this song for $1.99? It's like, man, but then it like cuts into my budget. Like, is it worth it? Do I want to hear this song again? So Paolo, this album was in that era.
Yeah.
His first album was 2007.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And on the first album, I was listening to a couple days ago, and that makes sense that it came out in 2007. There's a song or two on there where it almost feels like an indie rock record. There was a moment that I was like, God, he kind of sounds like Spoon here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is pretty wild, especially thinking about this album, the sophomore effort, where he's not venturing into that territory. You know, again, talking about his range, he's not really. I don't hear him venturing into that indie rock, because that era of indie rock I love. Like when when I first made the connection, I was listening to the record, his debut record, and when I first made the connection that like this sounded similar to a lot of the indie rock that was coming out at the time.
Totally.
I was even more hooked on this guy, right? The range to be able to do that and then to sound like Wilson Pickett, right? Like
Sure.
an album later, you know, is pretty impressive.
It is very impressive. And I would also say that there's a likelihood that he was given freedom.
Mm-hmm.
He was given freedom. What can you do on this next record? And I don't know what his contract said with whatever label he was on, but
Yeah.
I would guess that they were like, see what you got. Bring us whatever you got, and we'll go with what you got. Because oftentimes those labels, especially at that time, were like picky, you know? Labels these days are even pickier.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a hit. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
But then it was like, I could do it all. Here's everything I can do. And there's a freedom to that. I commend anybody who can explore genres, because I will admit, I think that's something that I lack in myself as an artist. I'm a 3 chords and the truth kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. I'm good at it. I love it. I think it's getting me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit it. But somebody who is so musically inclined that you can go and explore Ray Charles, Wilson Pickett, like you mentioned, his influences, Ray Charles and the Drifters, from what I read. You know, that's
That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's oldies.
Yeah.
You know, it's Motown. There's a swing to it,
Yeah.
but he's also a singer-songwriter who has to, you know, get the let out with his heartbreak and or yearning for love with somebody. And I do think that he towed a line in a very cool like manner. He was able to go from here to jump back in, and he showed his range, you know, especially for that era. So yeah, what were your thoughts? So like, you came into it with very little idea
Very little.
of what type of album this was going to be. So I just want to hear what your first listen was like. Like when it first started playing, like were you like, oh, like what was that like for you?
Yeah, I was like, oh. yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, I actually was listening. The first time I listened to it was at the gym.
Oh yeah.
And you know, great weightlifting music.
Pumping arm.
But
Pumping arm.
yeah. The horns just like each curl on the horns coming in. No,
Getting swole.
Yeah, but I was lifting weights and listening to the record, and I was smiling, which was kind of nice in that context, right? Because I was pushing myself.
Sure.
And so it was kind of nice to kind of have that moment where I'm going, oh, this is going to be so much fun to talk about because I'm listening to it and feeling so good about it. But you know what jumped out at me from the beginning, and I think I mentioned this to you via text, was like, and maybe this is just context for me too, since I'm very, very single at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the ladies, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's about the ladies.
Yeah.
There's some naughtiness to this man throughout this record. And it was really, that was one of the things that jumped out to me at first, was like, what a lover this dude is, you know? And then you look at him and it ain't fair because he's so damn handsome.
He's a handsome devil.
He's a really good looking man.
While we were listening to the record, we were talking about the album artwork. And like it's cool artwork, but like it doesn't look like him. It doesn't do the justice that, I mean, you said it best, like with a face like that, put it on the record.
Man, if I was that pretty, you wouldn't be able to, there'd be pictures of me everywhere. You kidding me?
You know?
But yeah, that was one of the things that stood out to me at first, was
Yeah.
like a lot of, because there is a sexiness to, especially again, like that first part, there's a sexiness to the record with those horns and the soul that he puts into it. So that was one of the things that jumped out to me at first. And then the other thing, I mean, it's appropriately named Sunny Side Up, because I do appreciate how you and I, being the sad men that we are and the introspective men that we are, gravitate towards similar music, right? We do gravitate toward the sad saps. And so this, I mean, hell, I'm looking right now at a hat that I own that says "Sad songs make me feel better," next to Vanessa Jean Speckman's also poster that says the exact same thing.
Above a John Moreland hat.
Yeah.
That's above a Gabe Lee hat. With a Cincinnati Reds hat in there.
Yeah, you got to mix it up a little bit.
But the Reds have had a tough go.
Well, they've always consistently make me sad.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
I'm a Pirates fan at that point,
until this year, it's fine. Finally, the Reds are like winning series. It took a series from the Yankees, and hopefully their game might be over by now. But hopefully they're beating the Padres to take that series right now. But I tend to gravitate toward sad songs, of course, and it helps me to process some of the more melancholy feelings that I have and the things that I deal with. So it was nice to have this record as almost like a break from that. And I would say just his music in general. And then the other thing that it led me to was I did not watch any interviews with him, but I did watch that video that you sent me today.
I sent you his performance at Glastonbury in 2014.
Yeah.
Candy.
Man.
Song Candy. And I'll tell you.
Phenomenal.
Somebody on Instagram, I think the handle was Turning the Tables. He's like a dude who just talks about his record collection. Just came across his handle because I was listening to Nutini, Sunny Side Up, that I was like, who's talking about this record on Instagram? And it came up today. So he said, if you're on YouTube, go check out Candy live at Glastonbury 2014. So I did, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, man, killer.
Man, what a performer.
Yeah.
And like the band is fucking solid.
Oh, my God.
So yeah, I mean.
Well, but that also, I didn't have the words for it until I saw him perform it.
Right.
There is a charisma to the songs on the record. There's
Totally.
a charisma to the way that he sings, and that comes through in the live performance in spades. I mean, there's just a charm to all of this thing,
And it's real. Like, I think because you mentioned that we're like two sad saps, especially with our music sometimes.
Yeah.
To listen to somebody, as you put, so beautiful. Or like so handsome.
Yeah.
It's almost like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to your music. You're going to piss me off.
Yeah.
With your positive attitude.
Yeah, looking so pretty.
This is real. This is authentic.
Yeah.
Like, he did it with some gusto. Like there's some like, hey man, I love music. If you don't like it, you don't have to hit play.
Yeah.
He's not there's no shoving it down your throat.
Yeah.
And it's feel good.
Yeah.
I couldn't get over, again, for being introduced to this album by such an introspective and heartfelt song that really like just pulled my strings in a way where I was like, man, I think I figured out the rest of my life. Like, I think I fucking get it. I think I know why I'm meant to be here. I know what I'm going to do for the rest of my days. I know that I'm going to have somebody by my side the rest of my days. And it's all because this song opened up my eyes to feel something new. And I was so blown away. And I couldn't get over the fact that it was 2009.
Yeah.
This song has been out before I'd even been introduced to it.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, it introduced me to this lovely album that's feel good and has such a vibe to it. It immediately put me in a good mood. And I wanted to be able to bring that element to Life's Greatest Hits.
Well, I love that. And that particular song has some really great songwriting on it as well.
You ain't
like
kidding.
lyrically, right?
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about sort of vibe and feel and those kinds of concepts with this album, because to me, that's what really stands out about it. But the man can write too.
Yeah.
Like on that song, Tricks of the Trade, he goes, "Oh, how our glory may fade, baby. Well, at least we've learned some tricks of the trade."
And like and he does it differently.
The
first line, the first chorus that he sings, and this is something that I love as a songwriter. I love changing words around. He said, "At least we've learned some things along the way." And then it's like in the middle of the song, he realizes, "Oh, we didn't just learn some things. I'm identifying that we've learned tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
I've learned how to love and not be loved in return. I've learned how to like realize that love isn't right for me. I've learned, and this is again, this is very introspective for me, but like I look at every relationship that I've had as like a lesson. It's been a chapter. It's like even if it was 4 months or it was a year and a half, like I took something from it. I was like, oh, I'm like growing. I'm leveling up in a way to be able to take, not leveling up from the partner alone, not just that, but like I'm leveling up to be a better version of myself. So that for the next person, I'm going to have this, and this on my tool belt, on my notches, on my bedpost of being like, not the number, but the lesson. I've learned something from here's how I'm going to do this better in my relationship now. You know, it's the tricks of
what a great approach.
That's how I took tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Well, at least we have some tricks of the trade. At least we, you know, even if this doesn't work out, even if I don't end up with you per se, I'm still taking something valuable away from my time with you.
Yeah.
It might not be the love that we thought it was. It might not be the future we thought we had or how good things were. It could be something dark and gritty. Maybe we fought a lot. Maybe it was not healthy, but at least I learned how to yell at somebody. At least I learned how to take getting yelled at. At least I learned, you know, not to be so dramatic about things. So there was like all these lessons that just in that song alone, just with the words you said.
Yeah.
I can't get that off my mind. Like I still think about it all the time. It's like, it's almost like giving, it's like, it sounds like he's giving up to, well, at least we learned this.
Yeah.
But really it's like, no, like I'm still taking away something because the next bird, as he said, the bird won't fly away. The next bird is going to get my best.
Well, and there's a simplicity to the way that he articulates all of that. It's not like a John Moreland record where, you know, there's this like heavy poetry
right
in every verse. And I like that about this, how he's still saying quite a bit. There's nothing shallow about it. There's still plenty to be said, and the songs are well written, but they He does. I mean, that's a pretty simple lyric, you know. Oh, how our glory may fade, baby. Well, at least we've learned some tricks of the trade. It's pretty straightforward to some extent, but it still says a lot,
and it stands out. It's a line that I took away from it. He also said, I love this. I already mentioned the "was it love or recognition" line, but he said, "Oh, you took me from my bubble, knowing my defense was weak. And you sat there and you listened anytime I chose to speak." Like, for what you're saying, like, for as almost simple the lines are, it is so heavy of saying, like, putting all that together and being able to have such contradictory lines, but them to flow the way that they do. I just think it speaks volumes. I mean, I could spend the rest of this episode talking about Tricks of the Trade.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's like one of my top 5 favorite songs now of all time.
Man, that's awesome.
It
Wow.
has just taken, it has like catapulted me into a new era of my life. And I think songs have ways of being able to do that and cause you to reflect. You know, when I hear the song "Is This Love" by Bob Marley, I still think about like an ex-girlfriend from high school, and not about her, but about that time period.
Sure.
About that, you know, that era. And I think these songs that we hear, you know, over time, they're collections of our time, of our lives. They really are. And we hold on to them. And that this song is the one that really does stand out for me. But again, like I said before, for an entire album to like surround that, it still blows my mind. One thing I wanted to mention really quick was, there's a way that some songwriters, especially like in the 90s, going back to like when we were talking about like music that was getting put out, Aerosmith, when they first put out "I Could Stay Awake Just to Hear You Breathe Out," he says, and then I kiss your eyes, you know? And I remember as a kid being like, what the fuck does that mean? What does it mean to kiss somebody's eyes? Are you literally like, are their eyes closed and you're going to kiss their eyelids? Are you kissing their eyes because you love their vision? Like, what is it? What are you saying? And then in Candy, Paolo says it multiple times. He says, "Oh, darling, I'll kiss your eyes and lay you down on your rug." And it's sexual. you know?
Yeah.
And I hope that this is like like if I'm going to leave, at least give me this candy that I want, that I'm yearning, that I'm craving before I go.
Yeah.
Let's have one more moment, you know? But the line, I'll kiss your eyes, comes out.
Hmm.
And I think back to that, like, man, when that song came out from Aerosmith, I'm like, I still don't understand that line. But, like, I'm still trying to think about it. But, like, my point of songwriters taking something like that and then utilizing it multiple times in the song, especially with a song like Candy that has, like, a build-up. It has such a build-up to it, right?
Yeah.
He says it at different parts of the song throughout the build-up. And so I have always loved how songwriters can utilize one-liners multiple times in that. And as a listener, I'm like, it registers again. I'm like, oh, I'm sucked back in. I'm like zoned in on that.
That's an interesting
Very
connection. You made a connection on the last episode when we talked about Allison Russell. You made the connection between
Midnight Rider,
yeah,
Night Flyer.
I thought a lot about that when I was editing the episode, about making those connections, even though they may not be related at all, but like your brain taking it to a place. And I loved what you said also about, like, it is remarkable to me. Like, I have a Is This Love Bob Marley girl from high school too, right? Like, we probably all do.
Yeah. What is it? What's the song?
No, that particular song.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I think that song was like, well, cool. Look at us.
Yeah. She's married now.
Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, and like it's not, when I say that Is This Love comes back and I think of that girl, it's the time frame.
Yeah.
I think back to, like, in terms of like love and the love that I've had or experienced or thought was love in that moment, that song was the one that like stood out, and I had to get past it. Cause like I love Bob Marley.
Yeah.
So like I have to be able to like look at this song and
Oh,
kind
buddy.
of like compartmentalize and like kind of figure out how to like listen to it differently. But sometimes when that song comes up, I chuckle because I'm like, man, that was so long ago now, you know? Like,
well, I think about like this is something that you were so kind and sweet about. Like, I see you play often, right? And when you play cover gigs, you play Cover Me Up.
yeah.
And that song is very deeply ingrained for me with my ex. And when we first broke up, I couldn't hear the fucking song.
Yeah.
And you would ask me if I was emotionally available or not, you know.
There was
for
a few months span where you were just like, hey, like I'm going to come to your gig. I'm still not ready to listen to that one song.
Yeah. And now I can hear it. I mean, you played it. Did you play it last night?
I did.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Played it last night.
It's
yeah.
always the first song we play in our second set.
Oh, okay.
Two reasons. We always know that that's one of our stronger songs.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it because of fucking Morgan Wallen.
Motherfucker.
But like, or you know what? Fuck that. Everybody knows that song because it's a Jason Isbell record. It's a Jason Isbell song.
Yeah.
But like everybody.
But to be clear, fuck
yeah,
Morgan
fuck
Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. But like it is a song that everybody recognizes. And for as slow as it is and like, you know, kind of a ballad as it is, people do still, they're like, oh man, they're playing that. That's great. And then it zones in. The other reason is we as in me and Tyler and I have a habit of playing cover songs based on where the capo is. So that's me.
I get that, yeah.
Tyler doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
like, really. He's like, I'll play whatever, man. Like wherever it is. But
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, oh, well, we play Cover Me Up and we play Colder Weather and we play Old Red and we used to play Oklahoma City. Like they're all in Capo 1. Like I played Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift and I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. Like those are all Capo 1. So if I just then I have like a little basket of songs that I could just pick from while I'm on Capo 1.
That's what I do with my set list. Yeah.
That way I don't have to tune in between.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
all right, well, I'm just here. I'm just going to hang out.
Yeah.
So I do pick songs based on that. So those are my two reasons.
That's I definitely create. I only play my stuff usually when I play.
For sure.
But I definitely do that very thing.
Yeah.
Just out of convenience. Yeah.
But in terms of you were talking about Cover Me Up. You were saying that was like a tough.
Oh, the point I was making about it was just like how songs can be so deeply.
Oh yeah.
For me now, Cover Me Up is less associated with my ex.
Yeah.
and it is more associated with, like, I love how you went on that a bit of a tangent about, it wasn't really a tangent, but you went on that run talking about how songs can, like, I mean, how you learn lessons from relationships.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where I am right now in my, like, processing the heaviness of the breakup, is that I'm now at a place where I'm, like, picking these lessons and thinking about when I go into the next relationship, how I'm going to approach it, and not do the things that I did before, and communicate in different ways. And then the things that went well also, you know, that's another thing that when you get to a certain place and when you're reflecting on a relationship, is like, there's also great, you know, if you're with somebody for 10 years, there's a reason you're with them for 10 years.
Totally.
You know? And so processing that as well. But when I think about Cover Me Up now, when I listen to that song, I'm able to project it onto the good times and not think about it as a sad thing. You know, it's one of my favorite songs. It's probably my favorite song of all time. It's probably my favorite song.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is my favorite song of all time. Like, if you asked me and you said you can't think about it, because, I mean, that's impossible, right? What's your favorite song of all time? But if you asked me and I had to give you an answer, it would be Cover Me Up.
So, because, I mean, I have a handful of things that I want to say. Now, the first thing I'll say in response to that last point is, when I was younger, I decided at a very young age that no matter what, Hotel California is going to be my favorite song. Mm-hmm. And I always say that because I remember it being my first favorite song that I heard when I was a kid. So I always identify it as, like, do I love Tricks of the Trade more than Hotel California? Yeah, probably. Honestly, probably. But because Hotel California was my earliest memory of a favorite song, I feel like Life's Greatest Hits, I've committed to that being my top of the list song. Nothing can beat it, because I don't want to get lost in the weeds of, like, well, now this is my favorite song. Well, now this is my favorite song. So instead, I'm just like, Hotel California is just always going to be my favorite song.
Interesting, because for me, when I think about favorites, I mean, so not to overly stick on Jason Isbell.
Oh, I had other points. Where's okay. I have some other.
Okay, well, I just want to say quickly, though, that like, you know, that record Southeastern, I have several copies of it here.
Yeah, of course.
That record Southeastern meant so much to me, but then when Reunions came out, I was like, I think I like this more. And then when Weather Vanes came out, I like this more. And then when Foxes in the Snow came out, I'm like, wait a minute, I like this more.
Spiral, man.
Yeah, and so I'm comfortable with, like, with letting go. I'm not too precious necessarily about, like, my old feelings about, because there's some bands that I liked as a kid that I don't like now. Sure. Like, no offense to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but like, I really fucking loved them for a period of time, and now I'm like, it's not for me. Now, when I hear it, I don't turn it off. Yeah. But it's just my tastes have changed. Yeah. You know. Yeah,
I think we compartmentalize our music. Yeah. That was the point I was gonna say with Jason Isbell and talking about. Is This Love by Bob Marley and all that is when I interviewed with Records Revisited, and we talked about the Nashville sound. Yeah. I discussed that. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it now. I said, oh no, I remember now. I said I was introduced to Jason Isbell by an ex-girlfriend. Cover Me Up was the song that I was introduced to.
I remember first saying that. Yeah.
And when we broke up, I fell in love with Isbell's catalog so much that I was like, I'm taking all of it with me. Like, this is mine now. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that was like a moment where I took a lot of ownership of like a fandom. I was like, I am an Isbell fan. Thank you for introducing me to Cover Me Up. I appreciate it. But I'm not going to stop. Yeah, Cover Me Up is not about you. Yeah. And like I've said that before, that like when writing love songs, you know, I've told Mariah this and I stand by it, that like any song that's been written about somebody from my previous life or relationships or any type of experience, that song is no longer for that person. Mm-hmm. It's now for the crowd that I'm playing it to. Yeah. So I don't go into my mentals of being like, man, remember when? I don't do that shit, because there's no point. They're not worth the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that goes into my last point of this whole ramble, deep dive into into the weeds of our favorite songs.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned, being being in a relationship for a long time, and now you're on your own, and you're dissecting like your life, and I talked about how my relationships have all kind of led me to here. What I'm not mentioning is the best relationship that I had before Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sound cliche, but it's just the truth. The best relationship I got to have was with myself, was when I was on my own. I took more away from my time by myself than anything that I've ever experienced in my life.
That's awesome.
Where I finally got to a point where I was content.
Uh-huh.
I was okay. I would be all right.
Yeah,
I'm all right if I'm on my own for the rest of my life, because I'm good with where I'm at.
Yeah.
And that's when Mariah fell on my literally, we went out in the moment of me being like, cool, I'm accepting it. If this is what my life is going to look like, so be it, because I love where I'm at.
Yeah.
And that also comes with some darkness and some self having to do a lot of self reflecting and really deal with some demons that I wasn't dealing with. Kind of the sense of of not giving a shit or not trying hard enough or not taking care of myself the way that I should have. I did deal with a lot of hard shit in that relationship.
Yeah.
But the relationship that I had with myself was the biggest takeaway to get to being in a relationship with Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love that.
yeah, I think it's important that you are on this journey on your own right now. And I know that you do too.
100%. Yeah.
And it's one of those things, just embrace, keep embracing it.
Yeah.
Because you get to do whatever the hell you
Whatever
want,
fuck
whenever
you
you
want.
want to do
Whenever.
it. You have a freedom, you're ambitious, you're hardworking, you're a good dude. You're just sky's the limit. And yeah, I just think, I think this might be the episode where I feel like we've been able to kind of take this album and really break it apart and talk about it, and then it took us into a whole new conversation, and I think that's cool. I think this is I think that as we go on more and more with Life's Greatest Hits, it's called Life's Greatest Hits because this is our favorite music.
Yeah.
And our favorite music is going to bring about other elements or other songs or other albums or other times of our lives. I think that's really special.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Dude.
Good talk.
This is a great one.
This is a great one.
Yeah.
I hope, folks, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you go and listen to this album and you dive into Paolo Nutini's catalog and go check out his music.
Yeah.
Definitely a good dive, I would say. So
yeah, dive in, y'all. We've got and man, we have more coming too, which we're gonna talk about in a second.
We'll talk about in a second here.
But before we do that, just what's going overall, what's going on with you, man? What kind of? I know you got some cool stuff going on, and you always do. What you got going on?
I appreciate you saying that. Honestly, this is things have kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah. Which you intended to do. Right?
It is. Yeah, exactly. And I'm happy that it's kind of slowed down and things have, where we are in wedding prep mode.
Yeah.
Hardcore right now. And so that at the forefront, is what we are focusing on. We have a to-do list of a bunch of things, and we consider maybe just being screw it, let's elope every other day, but we're too late. It's too late for that now, folks. We're gonna have a party and we're gonna rage, and it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be very special. So first and foremost, Mariah and I are both working together in tandem and just getting stuff done. We met with our ceremony coordinator. We have our music set up. Our friend Hannah Stokes is going to be performing at our cocktail hour. I don't know if I've said that before.
Told me.
But I'm
I don't know if you said it on
very
mic,
excited about that. We're just getting things worked out, and everything's starting to come together. I got a cool suit picked out for myself.
Yeah,
I got a paisley. It's like a black paisley jacket.
Yeah.
I'm just so pumped about that.
It's dope.
I'm pumped about the gifts that I'm giving to you and the rest of my groomsmen. So Jason Earle is our officiant. So I think we've said that before, but Jason Earle will be marrying me and Mariah, so that's very exciting.
Just one of the biggest honors of my life. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm glad it means that much to you, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Huge, dude, huge.
And yeah, our groomsmen are getting situated. We're going on a really cool bachelor trip.
Yeah. Oh man.
That I'm so pumped about. We're
Yeah, we
going
are.
to Louisville to Bourbon and Beyond Festival in September.
Yeah.
We're also it's not official, but I'm telling you right now, we're looking to go to Churchill Downs for the day
Oh,
on
cool.
Friday and do watch some horse racing.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, so-
Churchill Downs is a party,
yeah.
by the way.
I think that's what we're doing. So get ready for that.
Yeah.
Bring a couple bucks to.
I've been to the
rest-
Derby.
I figured you were. You're a Kentuckian, you know.
Yeah.
I've been to Louisville. I haven't been to
party.
Downs. I haven't been to the Downs there. So there's that.
I love Louisville.
Oh man, I've been once, and it was for a college convention media convention that I went to in college.
It's like at that I love. So first of all, I love like a mid-sized city.
Yeah,
I love like a million people kind of city or a couple million
it's
people
not
kind of
huge,
city.
but it's a city.
But there's plenty going on.
totally.
And then I love a city at a crossroads
Yeah.
because Louisville is like southern and midwestern, and like it just sort of is at that crossroads where it has its own identity.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and it's just it's so great.
we're gonna have a blast.
We're gonna have a
man.
good time. Yeah.
What else is going on? Mariah and I adopted a new dog. We have a 9-year-old Pomsky in our world now. She is a wolf. It is awesome. The tiniest little wolf I've ever seen.
She's so cute.
She's 12 pounds of adorableness.
She's only 12 pounds.
She's 12 pounds, dude. She's 9 years old. She's a sweetheart. She doesn't bark. She's so calm.
Aw.
She's such an angel, and we're just both so excited to have her in our lives. Mariah's been taking her to work, and like
Oh,
when she
cool.
doesn't take her to work, she just lays on the futon next to me while we're working in the office, and she's just such an angel. And like Nessie, Nessie hasn't gotten along with many dogs. Nessie being the dog that I've had for 12 years now. Nessie hasn't always gotten along with. Nessie hasn't always got along with other dogs.
Right.
And then we have Jasper, who he's like a little toddler. So we have 3 dogs, 2 cats. And Winter has just fit so nicely and brought such joy into our worlds. And we're just so excited about that. Other than that, creatively, I've been songwriting, which I'm feeling really good about. I have an idea of where I'm going to be going with releasing new music and getting it recorded. I have songs that I'm bringing back into the fold that I never fully finished, or they could use some tweaking. Even just on Friday, I have this song that I wrote about my relationship with Mariah and talking about our future, and it's called Forever in a Day. And it was about our future and where we're going to go with it. But I felt like it needed some work. So
I would not be a Life's Greatest Hits episode if my dog Conundrum wasn't aggressively licking himself.
Licking it
At least
hard,
it's
man.
his leg at least this time.
Yeah,
and not his non-existent
Yeah.
testicles.
it's okay. It's okay,
buddy,
buddy.
hey, Conundrum.
Hey,
Hey, bud.
hey, man.
Hey, leave it.
Hey.
Hey. Hey, leave it. Thank you. Come here.
Let me cut this out, maybe.
Come here. Cut it out, guys. Don't you
know.
love an update
Don't
on
you
my
love-
dog
yeah,
licking
how
his?
the dogs are doing? But yeah, so the dogs are great. What was I saying? Songwriting. So I
Songwriting,
wrote
yeah.
this. So I have a song Forever in a Day, and Mariah, I asked her to come and just sit down, and help me. Mariah sings. She's a beautiful singer. She's also Mariah would be a great producer because she has an amazing ear. And so I was working on a song, and I was like, hey, I could use some help. So she came in, and we ended up writing a full verse for her to sing.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna work it into being a duet of a song.
I'm really excited
special.
for
I
that.
have it recorded, but she isn't singing on it. It's just me on the demo. So I'll play that for you personally.
Folks listening, if you haven't heard Mariah sing, she's an incredible singer.
She's a better singer than me.
I'm not
man.
just saying that because
No,
I love
no.
her. She's an
She's
incredible
a very
singer.
good singer. Yeah. So we got that in the horizons. I've been working on a song with Tyler Hood, my bandmate. We've been working on a song that I'm excited about. Man, just so much cool shit in the horizon. Gonna release some solo stuff, some band stuff, and then Kyle Keller and I are talking about doing a collaborative album.
Hell yeah.
We did that show at Heartwood Soundstage.
Yeah.
Where we both sang on each other's songs, and Kyle played banjo and harmonica, and we had a song that we wrote together called Jackson Road that we wrote it in 2019 and never revisited.
I don't
it.
think I know that one.
Yeah. So
I haven't heard that.
We
have I?
No, I'll play it for you.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we have a lot on the horizon. So my agreement is to not really go on tour right now because of the wedding. And I'm just playing bar gigs around town. You know, when we were talking about playing cover songs, folks, like I kind of straddle the fence between playing the 3-hour bar gigs in town because it's good money and it's good practice and it's a good time. And then playing ticketed shows where I'm playing my original music, where we ask you to pay money to come and see the show.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, not a lot of folks realize, like, they're like, oh, I'll just go see a free Jordan Foley show. Well, if you do that, you're typically just going to hear me play a bunch of cover songs, which is fine, but it's not
which is a fucking
ticketed
blast, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Sure. So that's really what I'm focusing on right now. I'm very excited for where things are going. How about you? What's going on
that's
with you?
awesome, man.
Yeah, man,
yeah, all
thank
that
you.
is so great. I'm really stoked to hear that song with Mariah on it, and I'm really stoked for you and Kyle doing that. What a great idea, you know?
So initially, and I could talk about this longer, but I won't for time. Kyle, Matthew Fowler, and myself were going to do a folk bluegrass record together. Yeah, we were going to do it, but our schedules, man. I mean, Kyle lives in Gainesville, and Matthew Fowler was touring the country, and I live here in Orlando. Like, it was just hard to like coordinate that. So I am saying that into existence, where it would be really cool to have Matthew Fowler on it as well.
Don't give up on that. Yeah.
But Kyle and I have a good thing going where we're just so supportive of each other. I mean, he's one of my best friends, but we're just working so hard together to like get our music out there at the same time, and we're watching our friends be successful, and so we're like now taking the plunge, and we just figured, why the hell not do something together where it's like it's just more content, it's more music, we get to write songs together. So I think that's going to be in the horizons too. I'm definitely looking forward to making that happen.
That's cool, man.
Thank you.
Really cool.
How about you?
Yeah, I am really motivated right now. I had to cut my Grounded Summer tour short for some family reasons. But for the folks listening, my other gig creatively is the Marinade with Jason Earle podcast. You probably know that if you listen to this show, but if you don't, it's a conversation about the creative process with creative people. Jordan's been on, Matthew Fowler's been on, Kyle Keller's been on.
All three of those guys have been on.
And we're coming up on 200 feature episodes pretty soon. We're well over 200 episodes if you count bonus episodes. We're almost at 250
on Patreon.
Well, no, that's just on the main feed.
Oh, sorry.
If you include Patreon, patreon.com/marinade podcast.
I was trying to plug.
Thank you. I did just publish a new piece of bonus content over there yesterday, Jason's Journey, or 2 days ago. But it's just, there are these moments. You can probably relate to this with your songwriting and recording. There are like these moments in your creative career where you feel like you cross over into a different threshold in terms of reach and influence is a weird thing to say, but just sort of like getting eyes and ears on the work.
Oh yeah.
And then like you cross another threshold and you cross another threshold. Yeah. It feels like we're about to like hyper warp to a different threshold with the Marinade, and it's hard to really describe why I feel that way. Part of it is that I've had a few months off after I quit my day job, and then I have to wait for my new job to start, and I've just gotten up every day and treated the Marinade like my full-time job.
That's great,
and just like done work on it, you know. And I still have a lot of work that I need to do. There's still a lot of things I still really want to get into video. I still want to make sure that I'm also doing a better job of promoting online. And I think I've stepped that game up a little bit, but I got some room for growth. And I'm getting feedback from people now. Like I had somebody call me the other day. Well, she messaged me online. I'm not, it's a private conversation, so I'm not going to tell you who it was, but it's a young podcaster, in her 20s. And she is just getting started. And I complimented her online about an interview that she did with an artist who's been on my show. And she sent me a direct message and was just like, hey, that meant a lot to me because I love your work. I respect your work so much. Is there any way I could like pick your brain about some things with podcasting? And Jordan was like it's the weirdest feeling, but awesome. But
Hell
like,
yeah.
There's a whole I've been doing this long enough. There's a generation behind me now that I'm influencing.
Yeah, man.
And we had the greatest conversation. She had great questions. I actually had something to, it was a weird thing in the moment. I was like, oh yeah, I have some wisdom about this, because it's been 8 years.
Yeah, man.
I mean, September will be 8 years of the Marinade, dude.
You have made a pretty big impact, whether the numbers say it or don't, or whether the reach says it or doesn't. You are the sole reason why I wanted to do a podcast for Life's Greatest Hits.
Mm-hmm.
So consider me a part of that generation too. That's like, it is inspiring to get on a microphone and talk. I think I heard Tyler, the Creator, recently said something like, too many people are doing podcasts.
I heard him say that too. Yeah. Maybe you posted about it.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I agree. Like, I feel very guilty sometimes of being like, I have something to say. No, we're just talking. I think, like, we've talked about it before. You and I would just be talking about these albums and the music we're listening to over a beer. You know what I mean? Like, we would just be talking anyway. And we believe in a vinyl community and listening to records and buying records to support your favorite artists and your favorite pieces of music. And I think that speaks volumes.
Well, sorry.
I was just going to say, like, it just goes hand in hand with the fact that, like, you have been around the block doing this. Like, you are a troubadour in your own right. Yeah. So, like, own that shit, man. Congrats. Like,
thank you.
Good on you. And, like, good on you for talking to up and coming podcasters, because I really, one of my favorite honors is when somebody young and up and coming is like, hey, like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember when I did that. Yeah. Yeah. To Mike Dunn, to Thomas Wynn, to Terry Binion, to Beth McKee. I started asking the people who I've seen doing it and being like, how? Can you show me the way? And you remember when all those people, because I know that they did with you, like, were generous with their thoughts and time, and they more generous than I ever thought they would. Yeah, and that's how I feel about this moment. It was just really cool. First of all, thank you for all those kind words, but and a quick pushback, I would say you do have a lot to say, and that's why we do this. It is. It is. So we do. But yeah, I mean, and speaking of Tyler, the Creator, I did not get to see him at Bonnaroo because Bonnaroo was cut short. But my Grounded Summer tour, to circle back to the beginning of sort of what's been going on with me, I've carved out the last few years a trip that I take from here to Kentucky, where I was born. And I cover Bonnaroo on the way, and then sort of go through the South and hit a bunch of spots that I've spent a lot of time in, but also I'm kind of rediscovering at this stage of my life. And it's just really fucking good medicine for me. It's healthy for me to get back to my roots. I've been thinking a lot about family and existence. I'm always in my head about that, but, like, thinking about bonds at this point in my life, like the people that have been there for me and with me, and what I want to do for the rest of my life in terms of honoring those bonds and being there for people and processing all of it. So I went to Bonnaroo again. Lots of great stuff came out of it. If you don't know, Bonnaroo unfortunately was canceled a day and a half in. It was a bummer. But the day and a half that I got, I made great connections. You introduced me to new music, which is awesome, man. Crumb Snatchers. I got to talk to those guys. I thought I deleted the conversation earlier today. That was funny. I did not. I'm glad he found it funny. It wasn't funny in the moment. It's funny now. It was not funny in the moment. Sorry, dude. I can't help it. It is there, everybody. It will be coming out in a week. I also, on the road, was able to record. So I recorded with Emily Scott Robinson, who I've wanted to have on the show for a long time. I recorded with S.G. Goodman, who is, for me, in the last 10 years, very few people have made records that meant more to me than the 3 records that S.G. Goodman has made, including her most recent one, Planting by the Signs. So I got to talk to her. I was at a KOA campground in Nashville, that luckily had strong Wi-Fi, and I got to catch up via Zoom with her right down the street from the Grand Ole Opry. I got to see Kelsey Walden play the Grand Ole Opry, who was very recently on my show of the Marinade for the second time. And so I just have some really cool stuff going on right now, and I'm just grateful, man. Luke Pelletier is this fascinating artist that I'm going to release that episode in a couple of weeks, that I got to talk to, and he's a visual artist and songwriter. His record is
kind of born out of him recognizing that he had bipolar disorder.
Oh, wow.
And this wild story about sort of some of the just really jarring kind of behaviors that he engaged in before he recognized all of that. Excuse me, ma'am, I'm almost done. And then you can have all the attention in the world with your little teeth. So that's what's going on. And speaking of nonsense barking at me and staring at me like, bald man, what are you doing? Why aren't you paying attention to me and giving me all the things I want? In personal news, I'm going to go ahead and put it out in the universe for everybody. I applied to adopt a dog.
Hell yeah.
Today. And I'm in love with this dog already. I haven't even met it. But it reminds me a lot of little nonsense. And so that's what's been going on with me, man. I'm excited. I've been getting up, doing the work every day.
Him,
Beckett. Yeah, he's a boy. And then I'm finally picking up my guitar more. And like for everybody who follows along, Jordan called me out on this. I did not film myself.
I didn't call you out. I challenged you.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you do it.
I know.
You know?
I did not.
And we talked about it before the episode. I had challenged you to film yourself playing a song. Could be your own. Could be a cover.
Yeah.
Just like filming and putting it out on Instagram, because now you have the handle Jason Earle Music.
And I need to do more with it. And I'm motivated to. So
you will.
I didn't get a chance to do that on the trip,
but got canceled. A lot of shit happened. Dude.
You've
been through a lot. You've been through a lot in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
You get a pass, man.
Thanks.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
We're not in a hurry on that. You just gotta, it's one of those things of like, you gotta kind of. It's like going to an open mic night for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just gotta do it.
Man, it is. That's an interesting point. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot like that. Like the first open mic is very tough, and then once you do it, you're like, oh, that went pretty well.
Yeah,
this is a lot of fun.
Oh, my adrenaline's kicked in. Oh, I feel great.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these endorphins I didn't know existed.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on with me, man. Everything's great. I'm excited.
You getting down on anything in particular lately?
Well, I've been listening to that S.G. Goodman record quite a bit, dude.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah, I've been listening.
A great album.
Yeah, I've been listening to that record a lot.
Planting by the Signs. S.G. Goodman. Her song Fire Sign has been our song of the week this week while we're recording this episode. You might hear this later.
Yeah.
Great album.
I also got a great haul from a record store the other day, and I recently had Scott Sherrard from Little Feat on the Marinade.
Hell yeah.
And I found Sailing Shoes, their classic record. I found a copy of that. So I've been wearing that out. Such a good record.
Yeah, man.
And then Van Morrison's Moondance, which has been talk about life's greatest hits. I mean, that's
up there for me as well.
It's one of my 10 favorites probably.
Yes. It's a beautiful song alone.
Just unbelievable record. And so I listened to that quite a bit lately. Sure. But yeah, SG's been the one that's been on heavy rotation for me. What about you?
Tropicana by Joshua Ray Walker.
I still haven't listened to it.
Dude, you got to listen to
I
that
know.
record.
I love Joshua. He's
it
been a
is
guest on the
so
Marinade.
Buffett inspired, but it's Joshua Ray Walker. And I really admire that. And I love seeing the dude smile. He's been through so much, going through cancer and having just a rough go the last year or so with Joshua Ray Walker. Folks, if you haven't listened to him, highly recommend it.
He's so good.
Tropicana is.
He's also a sweet dude.
He is a sweetheart. Yeah.
He at your show.
We talked about that.
I can't remember if I talked about it on this show.
Think you did.
Did I?
Yeah,
How he talked me down from a panic attack.
Talked you down
yeah.
from yeah. He's a sweetheart. So, and then I said on Instagram on Friday. I'm going to listen to all 7 of Springsteen's lost records.
Man.
I've only gone through one.
I got through the one, too.
But I'll tell you what.
Woo, buddy. Shoe buddy.
He's been sitting on that album since 1983. Are you fucking kidding me?
Crazy.
Great record. Can't wait to listen to the rest of those. In terms of just other media, I just finished The Studio, the TV show with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
On Apple. It's a brilliant show.
Okay.
I love how it's filmed.
Okay.
Really, really into that show. And FX's The Bear is back now. So season 3, Mariah and I weren't the biggest fans of because it was dragging a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't watched anything.
I've watched.
Have you?
I watched season 1.
Stressful.
Really stressful. And this is while I was going through the breakup.
Yeah.
So I watched season 1, and then I watched part of season 2.
Yeah.
And when he starts to get in that romantic relationship kind of shit, I was like, nope, can't do this right now.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be ready to revisit
jump back
it now.
on because there's a turn. There's a turn with some character development in the second season, and then third season just turns into kind of cinematic. What's it called? Montages, cinematic moments of look how beautiful this food is, it's like, that's cool, but like, carry the story. Where's the story? Now season 4, it jumped right into the storyline.
Okay.
Like, we are in the trenches of the story. It's going somewhere. Like, it's getting pretty heavy. So yeah, we're watching that right now.
Cool.
Yeah, man. But so with that said, folks, thanks for tuning in for this whole episode. I mean, this is a long one, but I feel like we really dissected a lot of things. We talked about a lot of stuff. Do you have any final points or anything before we introduce the next episode?
No, I don't have anything. Let's go right into what we're gonna do next, which is really exciting.
So we are both Tyler Childers fans, and
shocking, I know.
Yeah. I would say I'm a bigger fan simply because I love his catalog from start to finish, and you're more into his more recent stuff. True. You appreciate all of it.
Yep.
I saw you bobbing your head during Feathered Indians last night. Like,
yeah, it's
you're
a great song.
It.
It's a great song.
But we're both Childers fans, and with Snipe Hunter coming out on July 26th or 27th, I think. Yeah. It's the same day as Ben Nichols' solo album.
Yeah.
We have decided, we've already pre-ordered the Snipe Hunter by Childers. Is produced by Rick Rubin. We already purchased the album on pre-order, and we're going to have a special guest for the first time joining us to talk with us about the album. One of my best friends of all time, my bandmate Tyler Hood, is going to join us because he's also a Childers fan and could talk about it, and he's very excited about it. So we've been wanting to have him on the show for a long time. We're going to start having special guests here and there, mostly starting with local friends who are really into records. We have a lot of friends who love vinyl and are loving this podcast. So we're like, all right, let's start having people come on. So Tyler Hood's our first guest.
Yeah,
very excited about it. So that'll be the next episode, Snipe Hunter by Tyler Childers.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for it, man. I'm really looking forward to that record. Really glad we're bringing Tyler Hood on board.
Yeah, and we're going to listen to, I think we all agreed, we're going to listen to it for the first time together rather than like listen to it ahead of time.
Which is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to create a different dynamic.
Yeah.
And on top of it, like, Childers is pumping out singles of songs that he's had for a long time and hasn't been, Onita's coming up in July 2nd. He announced it. Onita is his next song. That's like a fan favorite that he's never released.
That's pretty wild.
Other than like on a YouTube track or SoundCloud or something.
Yeah,
so this is like, it's pretty sweet shit. Like, Nose on the Grindstone was his first single release. That was the first song I ever heard by him.
I know, that kind of caught me off guard, and I tried to, because I got the press release from whoever his publicist is right now, but I was a little confused by that. Is that not on another record?
It's on Our Vinyl. He did an Our Vinyl session.
Really?
That was the first time I ever
got introduced.
Because
that's like one of his bigger, in my mind, that's one of his bigger songs.
It's the first song I've heard of his.
And I guess I just thought that it was like
he didn't have
on Purgatory or something, and I just never.
He had Bottles and Bibles.
Yeah.
And then he just released Purgatory, and Our Vinyl came out around the same, before Purgatory by a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, at the time, all he had out was this like older album, Bottles and Bibles, and then he had Our Vinyl, which had like it had White House Road, it had Follow You to Virgie.
That version of Follow You to Virgie, that version lays me out.
Well, again, too, he doesn't have. That's another song that I don't think he has another track of other than on Red Barn. He never did Follow You to Virgie anywhere else. Look it up. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So I think this album is going to be a collection of songs that we already know of, but produced on top of that with hopefully some new songs that as well. So overall, just very excited to talk about this. It's going to be a great conversation. So, folks, thanks again for listening. We appreciate you. Tell your friends. Follow Marinade on Instagram and wherever you go on social media. Follow Jordan Foley. Follow Life's Greatest Hits.
Yeah. And until next time, thank you so much for sharing your Life's Greatest Hits with us.
Peace.